farms have grown significantly from their humble beginnings to meet the growing demand of dairy products. Cows have been used to produce milk for hundreds of years. Modern dairy farming began in the early 1900s after pasteurization was developed and used. Pasteurization allowed for a safer product and extends the milk shelf life. This allowed for milk to last longer and be shipped further. After my research, I gained more appreciation for a dairy farmer. How did early dairy farms work? Steel milk cans were commonly used by farmers in the mid-1900s to transport their milk. Home delivery of milk started in 1942 as a War Conservation Act. The milk cans usually had a name or a number of the dairy farm it could be returned. These are the steel milk cans, and there's some close up. It takes about 10 minutes to milk one cow by hand. This had to be done twice a day. Early machines were invented in the 1870s and continued to improve in the 1900s. In the early 1960s, farmers started using bulk tanks. These tanks could hold much more milk at one time. The tank manufacturers experimented with nickel, glass, steel, and aluminum. They found that stainless steel was the best material to use because it was easier to sanitize and to keep clean, and it kept the milk cold. By the 1980s, almost all dairy farmers used bulk tanks to store their milk. Changes were made to the dairy industry. In the 1950s, the dairy industry faced a period of change and challenges. Many dairy farms specialized in producing one product such as cheese or butter. Some people believed that the dairy farms could benefit by combining the small community dairies into one large dairy processing company. Others were loyal to their community dairies. However, dairy cooperatives were formed so that farmers could combine their resources and work together and send their milk to one certain place. And these are the different cooperative dairies in the U.S. Now there are plants that produce dairy products such as ice cream, butter, cheese, yogurt, sour cream, and many others. These are also still dairy farms that produce their own products. There are also still dairy farms that produce their own products. According to rural cooperatives, Rody Fresh Dairy farms produce a butter case cheese, a German soft style cheese that is handcrafted. Have you ever wondered what a dairy farmer does in a day's time? Well, they start their day off early, around 3 a.m. First thing they do is milk the cows, depending on the size of the herd. This may take a few hours. After milking the cows, they are fed and the water troughs are checked on. Sometimes the farmer feeds the cows while they are milking them. After this, they may have time to go grab breakfast, but they go straight back out to the farm and feed the baby calves. Here's a picture of a woman feeding a baby cow. And they check on them and they make sure they're doing well. And they tend to their pens, like changing the water and the hay. This takes a little while depending on how many calves you have at one time. Sometimes during the day, usually around dinner time, the milk truck arrives to pick up the milk at the tanks that the farmers hold milk in. They take the milk to the dairy plants. Throughout the rest of the day, farmers will organize food after cows have ate through, or they may have different people show up at their farm, like salesmen, veterinarians checking or treating cows, dairy nutritionists, or health inspectors who check the barns to make sure they are up to standards with sanitation requirements. When evening approaches, it's time to milk again. Most farmers milk twice a day, each milking with about 12 hours apart. Some milk 3 times a day with 8 hours apart. Once done milking, the baby calves get their bottle again. Then when all the chores are done, they might come get some rest. Some other facts and information about dairy cows. Dairy cows have their ears pierced with an identification number, like these on here. As you can see, they got numbers on. Each cow has a different number that allows the farmer to keep track of their activities and how much milk the cow produces. According to the computer world, on a cover story, some dairy operations use technology to help improve health, breeding, and milk production. They can use computers on big farms. The most popular breeds in the U.S. are the Holstein. These are the Holsteins you're looking at, which makes up about 90% of the milk you're drinking and the ice cream you're enjoying. This black and white cow so dominates the dairy market that the next 4 common breeds of cow make up the other 10%, which are the Jerseys, the Guernsey, the Ayrshire, and the Brown Swifts. A cow produces an average of 6 gallons of milk daily. A farmer measures milk in pounds, not gallons. A cow eats about 100 pounds of food and drinks about 50 gallons of water every day. U.S. dairy farms produce roughly 21 billion gallons of milk yearly. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, 98% of U.S. dairy farms are still family-owned and operated. I would like to conclude with these thoughts. Dairy cows have been around forever and dairy farming has evolved over the years. There are always new products invented every day from dairy cows. Dairy farms have grown significantly from their humble beginnings to meet the growing needs and demand for dairy products. I hope you have gained a new perspective on dairy farming like I have. Dairy farmers work hard to produce their healthy, homegrown dairy products for your family to enjoy.